Mr. Harrington.
Evidently, there's some kind of funding going on for, I guess, the utilities, whether they're getting the federal government for a tax credit or otherwise. But if you go to places like Westfield, they're now putting on telephone poles a solar contraption that then runs the electric lights for the town. I don't know how that program works, and I don't know whether Madison is eligible for it, but
We looked at it for the new school lights, the school zone lights.
yes.
And at the time we will be looking at it, I think, in the future. We ruled it out for those locations primarily because of location of trees, and number two is we had power at the poles already, and it just didn't make sense to go solar. But you know, it's certainly something for us to look at going forward.
Fine.
We also haven't been eligible for a lot of those credits.
Yeah,
Mr.
I don't know how it
Cody's,
works, but
tried
as long as you're
to.
alert to it, that's all that matters.
We've got our, little foot in the door through the fact that we pay the societal benefit charge. Ray, correct me if I'm wrong, for gas anyway. So we've been able to get some credits, but we're still working on getting some legislation through that's favorable to us. That doesn't exclude the 9 municipalities that have their own electric utility. So.
Fine. Does Drew University pay any kind of a donation in lieu of property taxes? I can tell you in other towns.
Pilot.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Pilot, payment in lieu of taxes.
Yes, whatever that is. Do we get such a thing? It's unusual, okay.
No.
That's quite common, as you probably know, around the country. I can tell you in Newport, Rhode Island, they get it from Salve Regina University. And I even, although part of Fairleigh Dickinson is in our town, some of it's in the other, but we don't get anything like that.
They do pay a sewer fee, though, which residents don't pay. So at least one of the services we deliver to residents, they are paying the full cost of that.
Right. If our fire department has to go to Drew, do we get any kind of a reimbursement for that? Do they give any contributions or anything?
Drew nor another town, no. But they are committed to trying to promote volunteerism on campus. And I know in years past we had some very active firefighters that were volunteers from Drew's campus, and they're trying to do that and start their own little volunteer ambulance corps as well.
Even the United States military makes very large contributions in lieu of taxes in the communities they're in. I don't know whether there's anything at this stage. In the next several years, we could revisit that and attempt to do something about it or publicize it. It might be well worth it. Another matter, I do think, as you well know, there's pressure in this state to begin to consolidate municipalities, etc. It's time that the borough of Madison and the Board of Education, at least superficially, attempt to show they're doing more in the area of cooperation. It's probably going to come to a major head next year. There's no way this state, even cooking the books, is going to cover a $12 billion deficit. And I'm an accountant, and I know how to cook pretty good with the best of them.
Can we quote you on that?
You may quote me forever. And one of the reasons I stopped dealing with public companies is there's too much of that going on. But that time is long since passed. If we had a 2.5 foot snowfall, would they beg to get one of our municipal front-end loaders to help them clear their parking lots of the Board of Education? I suspect they would. And maybe they already do. Probably most importantly, I have concern because I've been involved with a number of towns, the number of executive sessions that we have here. We call them closed sessions. I'm quite familiar with that law. It's extremely rigid, and I hope that we follow that law. But I can tell you from other towns, it seems like every week we're having executive sessions. And as you all know, if you haven't revisited, you can go on the internet and revisit it, where it's in layman's terms and not attorney's terms. But it is extremely restricted on what goes on in executive sessions. And I would hope that the law is being followed to the spirit and the letter. Thank you.
You betcha. And Mr. Mazzacca wouldn't let us go any other way. Trust me on that one. Is there anyone else wishing to be heard?
Sometimes outside counsel needs a little help because we do have ways in this world of kind of putting pressure on those that work for us, whether it be administrators, financial executives, or counsel.
I assure you I will speak up.
Is there anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing none, unfinished business. Is there any? Okay, just a reminder again about the budget hearing, 6:30 on the 25th. 6:30 on the 25th, I think, is one that's being requested to be added.
Yes.
Is that a-
Mr. Calvert has asked that the 25th be added.
Is that posing a problem for anyone?
25th of February?
Yes.
February.
What day is it?
It is a
Thursday.
Thursday.
We'd like to add an additional session.
Thursday evening club.
That'll be 6:30 too?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, I can be here.
You can be here, okay, good. All right, so so go on notice, if you don't want to miss the budget hearings, you don't want to miss February 25th, put that in your BlackBerry. Okay, voucher totals.
Okay. Public safety, $12,945.79. Health and public assistance, $5,612.76. Public works and engineering, $213,239.80. Community affairs, $8,330.04. Finance and borough clerk, $6,812,937.99. Utilities, $52,018.89. Total of $7,105,085.27.
I move the vouchers for approval.
Second?
Any discussion? Anything to be held out? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Mrs. Sukamoto?
Yes.
Dr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Cerciello?
Yes.
Mr. Links?
Yes.
I'd like to request approval of the following appointments. They will require council confirmation. The Shade Tree Management Board, Alan Andreas is a regular member on expired term through December 31, 2010. Downtown Development Commission, Ben M. Cahill Jr., Senior Citizens Representative on expired term through December 31, 2010. And the Recreation Advisory Committee, Ranjan Sinha, regular member, Harding/Madison Youth Hockey.
Mayor, I move these appointments for confirmation.
I second.
Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Mrs. Sukamoto?
Yes.
Dr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Cerciello?
Yes.
Mr. Links?
Yes. I call this meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We each have 2 litigation matters to discuss in executive.
Right.
We have money in the